Tomcat came about because my wife that is now had a little boy of 8 years of age, and he had severe learning difficulties, a condition called Angelman syndrome. He had lots of energy, but unfortunately, as with so many children like Tom, it's very, very difficult. He didn't sleep very well at night. Consequently, neither did anybody else. I said to Anne, well, why don't you use that little trike in the garage? It was a good idea, but it didn't work because he couldn't steer and he couldn't brake and he couldn't do all the other things to keep himself safe. He'd just drive into the side of a car and he'd think that was very funny. Without saying anything to her, I designed a new kind of trike, which I then called Tomcat, and it solved all those problems. It had steering and braking, and Anne could do all of that from behind the tricycle. And in that way, a little boy that would maybe walk 300 yards was able to cycle for 2 or 3 miles on the first occasion he rode the trikes. It was a formative day in his life. It was a fantastic day for the whole family, and one we'll never ever forget. When I first started designing for special needs industry, it was from my garage. It very quickly became obvious that we couldn't run a business from there. So I came up here to Gloucester, to the Gloucester Business Park, and the business gradually built from that as we became better known and innovated more, and we got to be one of the leading names in the industry. We have 13 staff and we have several salesmen out on the road. Here in the workshop, we have welding, we have a machine shop where we do all of our prototyping. When I began the business, first of all, it was with a very innovative idea. But the problem with that was it made cycling available to people with far more severe disabilities. So I decided that the only way to resolve problems was to do it on an individual basis. So custom building was the obvious solution. It's not a particularly good business model, but it solves the problem at the end of the day. In so doing, new innovations came along. We have about 45 different innovations that are unique to Tomcat, many of which have become industry standards that so many children across the world are now benefiting from. And that was why in 2013 we won the Queen's Award for Innovation.
My name is Griffin, and I work for Tomcat. I was quite impressed, and it was nice to get out and do something that I could enjoy. My life has always been adventure, like this. I just use my adventure. It's just a lot easier to just get on the bike and get out and do it. I live next door to a lovely spot, so I can go around there. The bike in the exercise that I think out the door. It's nice to just get out there and just burn it off.
The journey's been an absolute roller coaster. It's not always been a lot of fun, but I have a fantastic team behind me. It's something that's obviously very precious to me, but it's important to everybody that works here. That's what's kept everybody going, the sheer enjoyment of being able to help people and see an improvement in their lives. You know, it's a great rewarding thing to do. It's the most rewarding thing of my life.